Okay, let's get comfortable. Okay. We're good. Christy's Whelmed. It's a podcast. Hi, my name is Christy Alfaro. This is my YouTube channel, and we are going to do a story time today. I'm going to be reading to you one of my blog posts that I wrote. This week's blog post is called, or this week's blog post that we're reading is called, I'm Latina, Hear Me Roar. When I was younger, I had one celebrity that I really loved, Hilary Duff. I was obsessed with Hilary Duff and watched everything she was in. I even recorded that scene in Cadet Kelly where Hilary Duff and her friend scoff a bunch and say like, no, yes, a million times. The scene, no, yes. It's on YouTube. I'm not alone in this. I can't really remember what it was about Hilary Duff or Lizzie McGuire that I loved so much, but I felt so connected to her. I wrote down the lyrics to I Can't Wait in my diary and sang it every day until I knew all the words by heart. Unfortunately, I started to hide my love for Hilary Duff because people would tease me for being too white. Feeling the need to prove my Latinaness, I stopped listening to Hilary Duff and started listening to Aventura and Maná exclusively. I don't think I ever felt a disconnect between my Latinaness and my Americanness. I never felt less Latina when I listened to Hilary Duff because to me, my culture was so deeply ingrained in me, I could never forget it. I feel like my parents did an amazing job teaching me Guatemalan culture and making me feel connected to my Latina culture. I remember my mom playing Pipinela while we cleaned the house and going to my aunt's house every weekend and eating carne asada and dancing to Elvis Crespo. I remember taking road trips and listening to Selena and Los Cumbia Kings. I remember sitting and talking to my mom while she cooked dinner or did the laundry. And it wasn't until someone pointed out to me that I realized that it was weird that I talked to my mom in English. The thing is, I never really spoke Spanish at home. The most I ever spoke Spanish was when I was singing along to the music we listened to. I don't really know when I stopped speaking Spanish at home. I mean, both my parents speak Spanish, and while my dad usually talks in English, my mom solely talks to me and most people in Spanish. It could be that I just never spoke Spanish at home, or that I stopped speaking Spanish after being made fun of by my cousins for speaking Spanish like a gringa. I just remember not speaking Spanish unless I was singing along to a song. And as I've gotten older, it's gotten worse and worse. To this day, I'll start speaking Spanish and it will be going well. And then all of a sudden, I won't remember a word. And I'll start freaking out and then everything else will be gibberish. I try not to look at my past and dissect it too much, but I can't deny the fact that all these experiences shaped who I am today. I definitely look back and wonder if I would speak more Spanish if I hadn't been made fun of when I was younger. I wonder if I wasn't teased for having a flat chest and no ass, if I wouldn't have felt the need to wear skimpier and more tight-fitting clothes to accentuate the minimal curves that I had and still have. I'm not even gonna get started on how traumatizing it was to constantly be made fun of and told that I look like a boy, and how that made me feel like I wasn't a typical Latina because I didn't have curves. I wonder if I wouldn't have felt like I had to date Latina boys so I wouldn't be made fun of for only liking white boys. I also feel like I should say that every decision I made was obviously made by me. They were my decisions. But I can't lie and say that for a long time, I felt like I was making decisions to fit a mold of what I thought I was supposed to be. I feel like I went through two very distinct periods of my life when it comes to how I viewed my culture. When I was younger, I just leaned into the stereotype of the white valley girl because I knew that if I didn't, I would always be compared to my cousins who were always more Latina than me. I'm saying Latina because what does it really mean to be Latina? Then I went through a phase where I really tried to come across as Latina. I tried talking as much Spanglish as possible and just constantly was bringing up my culture as much as I possibly could. It's so hard for me because I am incredibly proud to be Guatemalan. I feel fully engrossed in Latina culture, and it was a huge part of my activism. In 2016 and 2017, I was very heavily in the feminist and Latin culture activism scene. While I am still a feminist and still Latinx, I am not as heavily in the activism scene anymore. It was really hard to be in the activism scene trying to represent Latinas and feel like an imposter. I had all these other activists around me who seemed more equipped to speak on the experiences of Latinas. I started feeling like I had to justify my feelings on certain positions. I felt like I had to prove my Latinaness to speak on certain experiences. And in the end, I was just tired of constantly checking myself. I always felt like because I'm white passing, I couldn't fully understand the struggles that other Latinx people go through. I read Representation Matters, and I never felt like that was really relevant to me. I feel like I've been doing a lot of searching to find myself over the last few years, and with that has been coming to terms with my culture. I had this breakthrough moment watching the Super Bowl last year, watching Shakira and J-Lo, seeing my culture on screen, listening to the music I grew up with. It meant so much to me. All my white friends didn't get it. They didn't get the level of excitement that I was feeling, but in that moment, I felt my culture down to my bones. In that moment, I realized that my culture is for myself. I know that I'm Latina. I have the roots and the culture that my family raised me with. And even though I'm white passing and can't speak Spanish well, that can never take away any of those things. So that is the story for today. Thank you for listening. Tune in to listen to next week's story, whatever that may be. It's always a surprise. And don't forget to check out my blog to actually read more about this stuff. Until then, I am going to go and just jam to Selena for the rest of the night. Bye. Thank you so much for watching. It means so much. If you like what you saw, make sure that you like and comment and subscribe to my channel and all those things that YouTubers say. And if you have suggestions on things that I should talk about, you can leave a comment below or head over to my website, christyaswellum.com, and write it in the contact me section. Until next time, thank you.